Hello. Today we're going to educate you on ATI's process for handling complementary injury screens. I hope you will find this process easy to execute, reliable, and provide you with a definitive means to better serve your community and referral sources. Today we will cover the patient intake process, the scheduler, the actual EMR injury screen, and discuss the client follow-up. Before we begin, it is important to note that injury screens can come into your clinic through walk-in, phone-in, website requests, friends, family, or even your current patients. So be aware of any and all injury screen opportunities. We will start the patient intake process for an injury screen by typing in patient's first name and last name. Click search. There are no records with this patient, so we're going to create a new patient account. First name, last name will carry forward. We will need to complete the home phone number or phone number, the location in which the injury screen is being completed, so type your clinic name or location number and choose from the drop-down. You will not choose account type and move down to department, and you choose Department of Injury Screen for all injury screens. The account type will default to non-contractual income account. Next, add the date of birth for the client, and the age will automatically default. Finally, choose the appropriate gender. When those fields are completed, click Save, and a patient ID will be issued. We will now move into the scheduler portion. Again, take that patient ID number, we're going to copy it, and move to the scheduler. Injury screens will now be scheduled, but it's important to note that injury screens can only be scheduled on a PT, an OT, or an ATC schedule column. Find the appropriate time, right-click to add new appointment, and type in the patient's name or ID number. You will notice the department is injury screen, and the only attribute available is injury screen. Injury screen appointment times are defaulted to a 15-minute increment. All injury screens should be completed within 10 to 15 minutes from start to finish. Once complete, click Save. Injury screens will show up on your schedule in turquoise with a pink dot and will not affect the clinic visit count or the clinician's visits for the day. We will then move on to the EMR injury screen portion. I'm going to take that patient ID number, paste it into the EMR search tab. If it is scheduled and checked in, it will also show up on your EMR Today tab. And click Search. You will see under the evaluation, it will have an option to add injury screen. Click Add Injury Screen, and we'll provide you with a brief EMR injury screen document. On this injury screen, the red asterisks are required areas, so please choose an appropriate body part from the drop-down below. Obtain a brief history from the patient or client. If they report any specific pain ratings, you can add that information, but it is not required. Once you've obtained that history of what's the issue with the client, take your objective measures. It is important to note that one objective field is required, whether it be range of motion, strength, or any other information. In this example, I will compare left and right knee active range of motion and discuss that there is trace edema in the suprapatellar pouch. Once you have taken your objective measures, make your appropriate clinical impression. In this example, client appears to have a mild left knee sprain. Once you've made your clinical impression, please rate the injury as mild, moderate, or severe. In this example, I will indicate it as mild, but note, if you choose moderate or severe, it will remind you to schedule an appointment with a physician before that client leaves. We believe if it is more significant of an injury, that we should help assist that client with scheduling an appointment with a physician. Make your appropriate recommendations. I believe we are going to recommend the client follow with a physician for further medical consultation, as well as the client would benefit from skilled therapy pending that physician consult. After you're making the appropriate recommendations, choose up to 3 physicians for this client to consider. 1 physician is required, but you will have the opportunity to provide up to 3. Type the physician's last name and choose from the list below. Once you have chosen your physicians, there's a checkbox next to the physician for the AutoFax portion. We are recommending you select the check mark to AutoFax the injury screen information to that physician at this time. Before closing out, the client must provide a verbal consent for the information from the injury screen being sent to that physician. So please ask the patient, are you comfortable with the injury screen information being sent to these recommended physicians? If so, indicate yes. This time we've completed everything. If there's any deficiencies, it will be at the bottom. So we will click Save and see if we've completed all necessary fields. If we have, the Sign Off button will appear. Click the radio button and sign off. By signing off, it will automatically fax the injury screen documentation to the physicians above. It'll also print a cover sheet for the client with those recommended physicians' information, which we'll see right now. This is the document that will be printed for the client. This information will not be sent to the physicians, only the actual injury screen. To see both documents, we can go back into the EMR, go up to the print option, you'll see injury screen as well as your recommended physicians. We'll go to the injury screen option here, and this is what is also faxed to, this is what is faxed to the physicians as well as printed for the client to have prior to leaving. So when this is signed off, the client should have the injury screen document as well as the list of physicians for consideration. Instruct the client to bring the injury screen document with them to their physician appointment should they have one. Also, offer to assist the client with scheduling an appointment with one of the recommended physicians. If you have a relationship with one of the recommended physicians, please reach out to them via phone, email, or text message and inform them that you had just performed an injury screen and referred the client to their office. If you do not have a relationship with one of the recommended physicians, please reach out to your regional directors or sales team for assistance. After the client has left the clinic, as a courtesy, we recommend you schedule a reminder call with that client 2 or 3 days after the injury screen to follow up to see how they're feeling, if they have any questions, and to identify whether or not they were able to connect with one of the recommended physicians. If they need any assistance with timely scheduling with that physician, please follow up with that physician directly or utilize your ATI sales team for support. Again, hopefully you find this process similar to what we're doing on a day-to-day basis with our patients, from the patient intake process, the scheduler, as well as the EMR side. With communication, following up with injury screen, utilize the same communication log and document all communication with either physicians or the client in the communication log.